Sorry you had to wait for us to finish.
Don't worry about it. I'm the guest here, after all. Thanks for your consideration.
At the very least, I'd say dinner's a million times better than lunch was. I mean, it's hashed beef day.
It's an Imperial Army tradition, isn't it?
Just the smells make me hungry. Hey, where'd your instructor go? Just a real looker. I was hoping to get a chance to talk to her. She went to the fortress commander with Instructor Neidhart.
She'd ask to eat without her tonight.
Alright, well, she's with Major Neidhart. It's hard to compete with those guys with the 4th Army Division. They have to just had Craig Red, but they've got the Major too, and he's kinda scary.
Division of muscle men.
Anyway, we shouldn't keep you guys tied up any longer. Your hash beef's gonna go cold. See you tomorrow, guys.
Oh, it's actually delicious. It's like night and day compared to what we had for lunch. You're telling me.
Come on, guys, with all the gloomy faces. You guys might have had a bit too rosy of an outlook. What are you expecting to see out there? I'm sure you can understand at least a little of how we feel. It's like, is everything we've learned in our time at the Academy been for nothing? Academics, the arts, individual skill in combat? None of those matter in the slightest bit in real warfare, do they? It's true. If all you're looking at is to fight a war, you don't need any of those. All you need is plenty of troops at your command, the latest weaponry, and overwhelming firepower. Assuming you know the tactics to use them well, and the strategy that deploys them effectively, I suppose. The accents are even more powerful than I was expecting them to be, too. I remember my mother boasting about the capability when she was starting to sell them to the army 2 years ago, but to be honest, I'm feeling somewhat disheartened as well. I can't see there being a place for swords on the battlefield with weapons like those on the front lines. Well, I don't think that means individual combat skill doesn't matter at all. Still, I think we've been misunderstanding something important all this time. What we saw in the military exercise today was power in its purest form. It has no morality of its own. It exists to bring about a result, regardless of the ideals or principles of those who wield it. It's true. Since, same can be said of a sword or a gun. And all the way up to something as huge as guerrillas and railway guns, too. I think I finally understand why they wanted us to watch that military exercise in the first place. They could have taught us in a less roundabout fashion. Well, it's like you didn't have to wait for me to start the party. Instructor Sarah? So you spoke with the commander? Sure did. We've got up-to-date info on the trade conference, too. As well as all the latest on the terrorists. So there's new information about the Imperial Liberation Front? Anyway, before I get to that, let me explain what you'll be doing tomorrow. In the morning, you're scheduled to participate in the Empire's physical fitness training. In the afternoon, you'll be attending a special lecture, where I'll bring you up to speed on that info I just mentioned. After that, you've been granted special permission to view the railway guns. I see. Looking forward to that. Well, we've got a pretty packed schedule. Well, we did bring you all the way out here, so we might as well make the most of it. Every nation possesses power in the form of a military, whether that military is large or small. Guerrilla Fortress just happens to have the power in a very striking, easy-to-understand form. As students of a military academy, you have an obligation to know the scale of the power the Empire of Arabonia wields at present. Power you might oneself be in charge of. Anyway, even a meeting that long couldn't keep me away from trying the famous hashed beef rice. I've heard it's the only decent food they have around here, so I've been looking forward to this all day. Should probably finish eating. Yeah, it's getting a bit cold now. Maybe I'll go and ask for seconds. Ooh, use this. If you don't want the rest of yours, can I have it? I'm gonna throw it away, then give it to you. Okay, that should do it. Right, that covers today's quota. Oh, looking forward to a nice long bath. Well, you know how every time there's a military exercise coming up, the workload gets pretty crazy like this. Still, at least managing the inventory has gotten a lot easier thanks to the Orbital Net. We've got everything hooked up on the network over the crossbow, right? Wish the Empire would get more on that. Take the utility. Well, from the sound of it, you need special equipment to send signals through a wired connection to make use of it. Considering the size of the Empire, it's gonna be quite a while before it's a widespread thing here. Huh? Mail? Looks like it's from HQ. I've got to be kidding me. This right here is the problem with the Orbital Net. There's no such thing as all forwards where they can send you orders around the clock. What's going on? So get this, they're planning on doing some extra exercise tomorrow. You've got out for 20 oxen units by tomorrow. 20! Seriously? I'll start up another pot of coffee, run for an all-nighter for sure. If you have that many sea units left. And actually, another lot came by freight just this evening. Exactly 20 if you can believe it. I guess we'll just have to get it done. At least let us take a shower. We're done to the mess hall and grab some snacks. You want anything? Imperial Liberation Front is in Crossbell? That's right, at least that's what the Intelligence Division believes. And it looks like a known terrorist organization from the Calabar Republic has turned up at Crossbell too. The situation over there is pretty touch and go right now. What are the authorities doing? Everything they can, naturally. However, operations are being handled solely by the Intelligence Division. They refuse to tell the Imperial Army anything, just that they have a trusted ally taking care of things. What's the Intelligence Division trust? You gotta know something about this, right, Shortstack? Well, I do, but I can't really tell you anything. Guess it's not a breach of confidentiality to tell you they're a really strong bunch, though. It's still pretty vague. I got a few ideas. Anyways, there's not much point in us worrying about that right now. Bigger issue is that our terrorists of the hour, the Imperial Liberation Front, are a bigger crew than we thought. Big enough to be in possession of a state-of-the-art military airship, at least. Airship? You assume right from the manufacturer, then? Correct. Just how something that large found its way into the hands of insurgents is currently unknown. It seems that a high-speed model, different from the heavily armored types favored by the Imperial Army. That's from the RF-26 series. There are a number of different models within that series, though. That's an airship, that means they're going to be a whole lot more difficult to catch, doesn't it? That's exactly what it means. It's basically impossible to keep tabs on them as it is. With an airship in their possession, there's no telling when or where they'll pop up next. It's quite worrying, especially since Prince Oliver is attending the conference. Toes in Crossbow right now, too. Yeah. Sorry, now you got me worrying. Take it easy, I don't think you have anything to worry about with Grams and Lecter over there. All that aside, if terrorist attention is currently focused on Crossbow, does that mean the Empire is effectively safe right now? That's a good point, Laura. We did target Princess Elfin during the summer festival last month. Possible it's just a feint. Maybe they want us to believe they're targeting the Chancellor. The well-aimed military police thought so too, so why they increased the security level here at home. The Emperor and everyone else connected to the Imperial family should be safe. They've also beefed up security anywhere that seems shorthand. As well prepared as ever, I see. Anyway, you finally uncovered some information on the terrorist identities, correct? That's right, though. Once again, we have the Intelligence Division to thank for that. If you turn attention to the screen, please. I know that face. Gee, it's my goodness, Princess Elfin and Elise in Heimdall. She's trying to start a war with Calabar in the Nord Highlands. Who is he? His full name is Michael Gideon. He used to be an assistant professor at the Imperial Academy in Heimdall. Batman? A teacher? His focus was political philosophy. 3 years ago, he was dismissed from his position due to his intense criticism of Chancellor Osborne's hardline policies. He lay off somehow on the road to terrorism? Well, it sounds like the actual reason he was let go is because he was handing out tracts and flyers to the public. You'll find this kind of idealist a part of most terrorist groups, though. In seeding a group of their core ideology, they twist to seem even more militant radical. Can't even reason with them either. Yeah, I just don't know when to give up. Like some other groups are now. You know anything about the others? Crossed paths with what I can only assume were other key members in last month in Heimdall. Yes, S, V, and C. It's like they haven't been able to dig up much on those three yet. The strongest lead right now is that V may have belonged to a Jaeger Corps. He was toting around this machine gun that looked like he should have been mounted on a vehicle. Do you seem at all familiar to you, V? Not really. Kind of narrowing down the identity of S2, but it's too early to make any informed statements. The real unknown is their leader, C, with the visor helmet. I heard he was able to go toe-to-toe with Reen, Laura, and Fee simultaneously. I just find that hard to believe. I don't. I imagine there are plenty of people in the Empire who could do so. It's not saying that the Radiant Blade Master could fend 3 of us off without much problem. But I bet Good Mira, Instructor Sarah, and Major Neidhart could do it too. Can't say for certain. Look at Mr. Modesty over here. Major is widely held to be one of the strongest up-and-coming officers of the entire army. I've heard people mention him right alongside Major Vander. Leaning on a little thick today, aren't we? Going by the family name, it seems safe to assume he's the practitioner of the Vander style of swordsmanship. No doubt Ortella's relative of Lieutenant General Xander from Zendergate. Well, I would question whether I stand on equal footing with him. Major Vander is unquestionably strong. He was my classmates during my military academy years, and quite close to Prince Oliver as well. In fact, he's in Crossbow right now, serving as the Prince's bodyguard. That's reassuring to know. But getting back to the point, it's not just C. We know very little about their group as a whole. And even their source of funding is a mystery. Even if they're a no-show in Crossbow, I doubt we've heard the last of them. And call it coincidence or fate, but you've put the kibosh on their schemes twice now. It's entirely possible they've come to hold a personal grudge against you, so be careful. Should keep that in mind. And I'll be shown to an area where the railway gowns are host. All of what you're about to see is highly classified. I'm assuming you're all aware of the protocol surrounding confidential intel? Yes, Instructor. Getting kind of nervous, too. Yeah, it's just the railway guns. I've seen them before. Nothing to get all excited over. Alright, and this is part of the field study. This part of the field study isn't mandatory for you. Stay here and wait for that, so that'd be more than okay. Jeez, I'm just kidding. I don't want to be the only one left behind. Excuse me a moment. It's Neidhart speaking. Yes, hello, Commander Walter. Wait, really wants to speak with me? Of course, put him through. Possibly calling out of time. What? What's that way? Stood, we'll be on alert here as well. Yes, right, take care out there. Something happened in Crossbell? Afraid so. A short while ago, the skyscraper where the conference is taking place came under attack by the Imperial Liberation Front. The attack was carried out via airship. Fortunately, they were able to repel the terrorists. Prince Oliver, Chancellor Osborne, and the others are unharmed. However, it's too early to tell if the danger is truly past. They did attack the conference. Foolish. That's not all, is it? Something else strange happened. What was it? The terrorists were somehow able to gain access to the old net and manipulate the shutters that partition the building. Furthermore, they had with them a force of mechanical monsters. I don't like the sound of that. Found something like that in the Graham, right? Yeah. We ran into one on the highway there. Broke into the old net. Major, just how much of Grey Force is connected to the network? Present is only used for inventory and equipment management by the maintenance staff. What was that? A tremor? Came from right below us. The hangar. What the hell? The Oxens! What happened here? They just started moving. No design, they just started moving on their own. Did the C unit start malfunctioning? Well, they couldn't have. It's a C unit. It's an automatic control unit we put on vehicles that are going to serve as targets in military exercises. How did C units end up attacking our most advanced tanks? This is really bad. We're going to assess the situation. I need you here to help fight the fires and assist the injured maintenance staff. Yes, sir. Please be careful out there. Crazy! Hold on a minute, are my control systems really capable of that level of advanced maneuvering? Definitely not. Current technology isn't capable of anything nearly this advanced. But if you're applying the tech using the archaisms, so it becomes a whole lot more possible. So are you saying that society might be involved in all of it? I'd say it's looking more likely about the minute. What if the proving grounds where we visited that yesterday out the way? What are they planning?
What Aeos' name is going on here? Why are unmanned tanks roving around blasting the hell out of the space on the road?
Well, it seems that last night headquarters sent out an order to the engineers to fit those tanks with C units.
Preposterous! I gave no such order. But never mind that. Right now we need to focus on extinguishing the fires and quelling the confusion.
And send a request for assistance with the 4th Armored Division.
Ah, what should we do?
I can't see us being able to catch up to them without a horse at the very least. What's their goal? What are they trying to accomplish here? Whatever it is, they definitely have some kind of game plan. You can't just stay aside and do nothing.
Leave this to us.
General, HQ surprised me of the situation. Leave these roast tanks to us. We can't rule out the possibility that they're a diversion. I want you all to stay here.
Understood, sir.
Thanks, General. Be careful, Dad. You too, Elliot. 4th Armored Division advance. Take those out-of-control tanks by any means necessary. Our opponents are unarmed, are unmanned. There's no need to hold back.
Yes, sir, General.
That's really something else, Elliot. I bet he is pretty cool when he takes charge like that. Well, it seems you no longer need to worry about those tanks, at least. What are they after? Question of the hour, isn't it? Can't let our guard down just yet. Might suggest we fall back to the Fortress Major. Current move. I have to assess the level of damage inside. Hey, aren't those... What in the... Imperial Liberation Front? Oh, there's 2 of them! Well, we could have known they had another force lying in wait. Ah! Hangar!
Do they seriously think they could breach an impregnable fortress?
They're just terrorists! Wipe them out! Right back at you! Alright! Let's get this party started then! We're headed straight for the left railway gun. If anyone gets in our way, fill them full of holes! Yeah!
What's the Imperial Liberation Front doing here?
I thought they were in Crossbell.
Well, that is the main attraction. They sure didn't put up much of a fight, did they? Our mission is to support Comrade G over in Crossbell. Our target is the right railway gun. Let's show him some beautiful fireworks, shall we?
Yes, ma'am!
Oh. Going for both the left and the right wings. Shit. It's the railway guns they're after? Oh. They're gonna fire on the trade council where the Chancellor is. Shocking one of those railway guns. Building. Blow the place to smithereens. That's what they're after? The situation has escalated far beyond the scope of your field stun. I want you all to stand by here. No way. You can't just stand idle while these insurgents run amok. If you want to take us with you, we'll take action ourselves. Look, time is one luxury we don't have. I think it's best to have them help us. Listen up, we're going back to the fortress. Groups A and B, you with me. Let's do this.